one's more realistic than the other?
I think they're both realistic, but I don't think the belts will be on the line if he fights Usyk. I think Daniel Dubois is going to hold him.
Oh, he's an absolute beast. Like, you know, he was an absolute beast when he was with me. You know, people were scared of coming in and sparring. You know, he just didn't have the opportunities to go and get the big fights. And we were always hopeful that there was a Fury fight or an AJ fight, because I know that they have the chinks.
Although Usyk was dropped in their first fight, he still came out on top. But with the rematch approaching, the narrative is shifting. Top boxing experts are now split. Some believe Dubois has grown enough to finish what he started, while others remain confident that Usyk's experience and skill will once again carry him to victory. As the rematch draws closer, the conversation around Dubois is changing fast. What once looked like a clear win for Usyk now feels far more uncertain. Fans, analysts, and even insiders are starting to question whether the champion is beginning to lose its edge. From his age to recent team changes, doubts are rising, and Gareth A. Davies summed it all up during a recent discussion with his usual sharp insight.
At the moment, everyone I talk to is starting, the barometer, the swingometer is going over.
That's the beauty of a great fighter.
To Daniel Dubois. Well, it's the optics of his victory against Anthony Joshua. I'll let you lead me on in this one anyway. But it's the number of people, even you and I were talking on air, the noise, the analysis of Usyk, the 38, he's 11 years older. Is he slowing? Why are his team breaking up? Did Alex Krasiuk not want him to go in the ring again? Is that why they split up? All these little factors that'll all play out next week.
Even with all the rising support for Dubois, Davies remains cautious. He acknowledges the danger Dubois brings early on, but still sees Usyk as the smarter pick. Yet beneath that logic, even Gareth admits there's something about this moment, something different in Dubois' energy that can't be ignored.
Almost. Yeah. And I think if he goes in with that mindset, like you say, it'd be nice to hear the thoughts and pick apart what Frank Warren and Don Charles feel tonight. I still favour Usyk to win. My head says Usyk, but my boxing brain, my radar says that Dubois, if he can make inroads in the first 4 or 5 rounds. Hey, it's 50 to 1, 40 to 1 to stop Usyk in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds, which is an extraordinary figure because he could do it.
Yeah.
He could. That's where he's going to be at his most dangerous, in my view.
He's a much more...
Moving on, Daniel Dubois has the power, but to beat Usyk, he needs a smarter game plan. Barry McGuigan says Dubois must stay active and aggressive, using his jab to break through Usyk's defense. By keeping the pressure and throwing more punches, Dubois can stop Usyk from controlling the fight. Barry's clear. Dubois has to be more assertive to win.
I think he needs to be busier. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to jab more with Usyk, because Usyk takes your jab away and then he feints and makes you, and then you start to hesitate and you don't jab. He's got to ram that jab right down the middle of his chest, just a couple of inches below his chin. You're always going to hit something. Keep stabbing that out and then drop the right hand and left hooks. He's got to throw more punches. He's got to be more assertive and he's got to be more aggressive.
Furthermore, Barry doesn't doubt Dubois' power. He knows one clean shot can end any fight, but when it comes to landing that punch on Usyk, things get tricky. Usyk's elusive style and tricky movement make him a tough target, meaning this rematch could be much closer and more tactical than the first.
Listen, if Daniel hits you right, he'll knock anybody out. And that's absolutely the case. He is ferociously dangerous. He's a tremendous puncher. So have you absolutely no doubt about that. But the thing is hitting Usyk. Usyk is like he's like a bag of tricks. You know, you couldn't hit him with a handful of stones. You know, his head's moving, he's southpaw. So I think it'll be a much...
Barry stresses that Dubois must add body shots to his game plan this time, using them to break down Usyk before targeting the head. While he expects a tougher fight, Barry still leans toward Usyk's experience, giving him a slight edge, but warns Dubois will push him harder than ever.
I think it'll be a much closer fight this time, and Usyk might have to visit the canvas again. Daniel has to hit the body this time and really work on it and go for it and employ a lot of effort into body work and then switch to the head. So I think it's a great fight. Still, you'd have to give Usyk the edge because he's so experienced, he's so he's such an all-round great fighter, he won the last one, and I think it'll be a different fight. I think Dubois will push him much harder, but again, you'd still have to give Usyk the edge.
Meanwhile, Dubois' transformation hasn't just impressed fans, it's convinced his promoter, Frank Warren, that something special is brewing. After years of grooming the young heavyweight for the big stage, Warren now believes the time has finally come. With a new mindset, a stronger record, and growing confidence, he sees Dubois as the real deal.
One's more realistic than the other.
I think they're both realistic, but I don't think the belts will be on the line if he fights Usyk. So I think Daniel Dubois is going to hold it.
Timing in boxing is essential.
I think it is what the Usyk camp said. They're not fighting Daniel the boy this time, they're fighting Daniel the man, and he's coming off a real great run of wins over world-class fighters, which are great confidence builders for him.
I was in Poland with you.
Furthermore, Shane McGuigan acknowledges Daniel Dubois has improved since their first fight. He points out that aside from that one big controversial punch, Usyk dominated most of the match. However, the situation isn't just about skill. There are serious issues behind the scenes, including conflicts within Usyk's camp, which could impact the fight's outcome and make the rematch far more unpredictable than before.
Daniel's got a better chance than he did the last time. I don't think he won many rounds apart from that cracking shot that was borderline potentially low. And that's going to be a talking point for years and years to come. So, whether he can find that shot again, obviously they're hopeful. I just think if you take that shot away, the majority of the fight was won by Usyk and his boxing IQ and his pressure and his intelligent pressure. I don't like the fact that Usyk's fallen out with his longtime promoter and friend. I think that's an alarming thing to do this close to a fight like that. I don't know whether Alex saw something that he didn't like, and I think there's sometimes you can take
that lack of respect. McGuigan warns is that Usyk's dismissive attitude toward Dubois could backfire. With Daniel riding a wave of confidence and fighting on home turf, the rematch is set to be much more competitive and unpredictable. This shift in mindset and environment means Usyk can no longer take Dubois lightly, making the upcoming fight one of the most intriguing matchups in recent boxing history.
There's sometimes you can take. I don't think he has enough respect for Daniel. I think he's very dismissive of him. Obviously, he's a proud man. A lot of people would say that he faked it and this and that, and it was a legitimate shot and he should have lost. But yeah, he's going to get his back up. But I also don't think he has enough respect for him and what he's achieved of late. And Daniel's on fantastic momentum. So I think it's going to be more interesting. I think it's definitely going to be more competitive, and it's in Daniel's home, where he had a fantastic performance against AJ. So, Daniel's always needed belief, and he has that in abundance right now. So I think he has a great chance. I just still going to lean towards Usyk.
Building on that momentum and respect, Shane highlights just how scary Dubois can be when he gets going. Having trained him, Shane knows fighters feared sparring with Daniel. Though big fights slipped away, Dubois proved his power against Joshua, and even Usyk felt it. Now, if Dubois finds his groove, he could become a truly frightening challenge.
Oh, he's an absolute beast. He was an absolute beast when he was with me. People were scared of coming in and sparring. He just didn't have the opportunities to go and get the big fights. And we were always hopeful that there was a Fury fight or an AJ fight, because I know that they have the chinks that he can expose, and he just hasn't got the chance to do it against Fury, but he did against AJ, and I think even against Usyk he's still hurting more than anybody else really. So he's a frightening person to fight, especially if he starts getting into a groove. So that's down to Usyk.
With Dubois earning respect from trainers and analysts alike, former champion Ricky Hatton also sees a shift in the momentum. After a dominant win over Joshua, Hatton believes Dubois is entering this rematch in a much better mental and physical space than before.
I think it's the best fight. I think they're the best two heavyweights in the world, and there's a bit of controversy with the last time, which goes with the grain in boxing, doesn't it? A bit of controversy, but no, I think Daniel's got a better chance than he had the first time. Yeah, what with the win off Joshua, that his confidence is massively up. Well, when he fought Usyk last time, he come off the defeat from Joyce, and but now he's absolutely flying. He's got as good a chance better chance than he had the first time around.
Furthermore, while most experts focus on skill sets and strategy, Chris Eubank Jr. brings a different energy to the conversation, reacting to recent comments Usyk allegedly made about his fight. For Eubank, that moment shifted his view and unexpectedly turned his support toward Dubois.
I saw something about Usyk saying that he thought Conor Benn won the fight. I don't know if this is true. I can't imagine that he watched that fight and thought that Conor Benn won, because it's just, you know, I landed twice as many punches. But people are telling me it's true. If that's the truth, then I'm low-key rooting for Dubois.
Team Dubois, absolutely. Yeah.
Because that's crazy. That's really crazy to me. And I've met Usyk a bunch of times, and we've always been cool. So I was kind of shocked to see that. I think Daniel Dubois, he's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll. So I think
Despite his surprise, Eubank gives credit to both fighters for their momentum, but for him, the outcome of this rematch won't just come down to technique or power, it'll be all about mental strength. In his eyes, both men showed vulnerability the first time, and now it's about who's learned from it.
that fight's going to come down to mindset. You know, in the last fight, they both showed mental weakness. You know, Usyk took a 4-minute break in that fight from a shot which some people say was low, some people say it wasn't, but he still took that break. And then Dubois kind of crumbled under the pressure after that. So I think it's going to come down to who's mentally more prepared to tough this fight out.
Adding on as the hype builds, veteran broadcaster Adam Smith offers a grounded perspective. He acknowledges Usyk's incredible accomplishments and doesn't shy away from the obvious. Usyk is still the favorite, but it's not blind loyalty to the champ. Smith believes Usyk's past performances, especially his recent showing against Tyson Fury, still give him a slight edge.
Question. I think Oleksandr starts the favorite, of course. You know, how do you go against a guy that's done what he's done at cruiserweight, at heavyweight, beating AJ and Fury twice, and he looks so good against Tyson in the last 3 or 4 rounds. So I think he'll look to pick off from there, pick up, and he loves London, and I think he'll see this as a bit of a homecoming, because I think he adores England. And he wants to fight.
But even with Usyk's credentials, Smith believes Dubois is not the same man he was before. With huge wins under his belt and newfound momentum, Daniel's mental and physical evolution can't be ignored. Adam sees the gap narrowing, and while Usyk still holds the edge, this could be Dubois' moment.
He adores England, and he wants to fight in Ukraine if he can. Before he finishes, but yeah, I see Usyk as a favourite in the fight, but I think that the margins have closed. I think that Dubois is in the form of his life, the momentum he's got since Miller, Hrgovic, and of course Joshua is mentally, I think, for him a big ingredient into this. And physically, I think he's a terrific all-round fighter who can really punch. So he's got a real chance in there to become undisputed in front of his home crowd at Wembley Stadium. What an amazing story. But I think it's going to be very...
Furthermore, as the debate continues, Dave Allen brings a more personal take to the matchup. Having shared moments with Usyk outside the ring, Allen still doesn't shy away from making a bold prediction. For him, this isn't just about skill, it's about timing. And with Usyk aging and Dubois improving, Dave believes the moment might finally belong to Daniel.
No, you know, Oleksandr Usyk and I got on really well. He gave me his jacket once. He gave me a coat. It was nice. It was nice of me. So no, I gave it to my dad. My dad don't give me it back. I think he's going to sell it soon. I just think it's about timing, really. Oleksandr Usyk, nearing 40. He's not physically... He's not a heavyweight. I don't think he's a heavyweight at all. I think he's still...
Despite beating legitimate heavyweights like Tyson Fury,
yeah,
who are real
I don't think he's a heavy... I really don't. I think he could do cruiserweight still now. I just think it's the timing. Daniel Dubois is getting better and better all the time. And I just think this is the right time for Daniel Dubois to beat Usyk.
Moving on, Tony Bellew knows what it means to face mental pressure in the ring. That's why when he looks at Dubois, he doesn't just see a fighter, he sees someone battling inner demons. According to Bellew, this rematch isn't just physical, it's psychological, and Dubois must prove he's no longer haunted by what happened the first time.
Body shot. For Daniel Dubois has got a lot of demons to revisit, and he's going to revisit them in this fight. I think he's in a different place mentally now than he was before the first fight. I don't want to say he's grown up and mature, because I think he's the same fighter as he was. It's just his mental approach is going to have to be different. So let's be honest, the question that was given to us, it's all about Daniel Dubois. This is it. Oleksandr Usyk cannot be questioned in any way, shape or form, whether it's going to your backyard, whether it's can he do this, he's ticked every box.
Bellew doesn't question Usyk's greatness. He's checked every box imaginable, but now it's Dubois who's evolving. From past stumbles to career best performances, Tony sees a man who's been through everything and come back stronger. And after what he did to Anthony Joshua, Bellew believes Daniel might just be peaking at the perfect time.
Box he's ever came across. Our man here, Daniel Dubois, hasn't, but of recent has. So we've seen him do the wrong things in the past. We've seen him take a knee, whatever have you. But the best way to explain Daniel Dubois is he's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. You know, the victory over AJ was something else.
Meanwhile, from the promotional battlefield to ringside experience, Eddie Hearn knows how quickly momentum can shift the narrative. As someone who's watched Dubois evolve closely, Hearn believes this isn't the same man who crumbled in the first Usyk bout. He sees a fighter who's shed his doubts and gained something dangerous in return for his belief.
I think it's a fascinating fight. I mean, look, sport and boxing is all about momentum and confidence, and you know, Daniel's confidence is sky high compared to where it was in the first fight. You know, I think he still had his demons from the Joe Joyce fight, even the Lorena knockdowns going into that first Usyk fight. And I think he did quite well in that fight, really. You know, he was very competitive, but he got stopped, and you know, he kind of looked for a way out in that fight. And I don't think that Daniel Dubois exists in the same capacity anymore, especially coming off the wins. So, you know, he has been a little bit inactive as well. Obviously, he pulled out of the Parker fight, so he hasn't boxed in September either last year.
But while Dubois is charging in with power and hunger, Hearn believes timing might be the silent factor. Usyk has endured wars, grueling 12-rounders that take a toll even on the greatest. That kind of mileage, combined with Dubois' surging momentum, creates the perfect storm. Still, with Usyk's experience and ring IQ, overcoming him remains one of boxing's toughest challenges.
Still got great momentum. He's very dangerous. He's a huge puncher. And, you know, one fight can turn anything in this division. And it might be a case of good timing. You know, Usyk, who is a generational great, sometimes, you know, those 12-round fights that he had with Fury, even the 12-round fights he had with AJ as well, it takes it out of you, and he's getting on. So it could be good timing, or Usyk might just be too good.
Furthermore, Abel Sanchez, a respected trainer, believes Usyk has been unbeatable for a long time, but no fighter stays perfect forever. He feels Usyk might be reaching that point where a strong, confident opponent like Dubois could finally break through. Age, pressure, and back-to-back tough fights might be catching up to Usyk, making this rematch more dangerous than most people realize.
Usyk has been unbeatable for a while. But there has to come a point in everybody's career when he has a letdown. Dubois, if he's persistent enough and he's got a good punch, I think that he may be able to upset him. There has to come a point where a decent fighter gets in there with Usyk, and a confident fighter gets in there with Usyk and gives him that L that they're all trying to get on him. But there has to come a point in Usyk's career where, as he's getting older, that opportunity for one of those guys that's persistent to beat him.
Abel isn't saying Usyk is done, but he thinks Dubois has grown a lot since their first fight. Mentally, Dubois is much stronger and has more belief in himself now. If he stays focused and fights round by round without slowing down, he could hurt Usyk. Sanchez says timing is everything, and Dubois might be catching Usyk at the perfect moment.
To beat him. You know, not so much just older in age, but older in he's training for all these big fights. He's preparing mentally for all these big fights. There has to be a letdown along the way. Doesn't mean that it'll be his last fight. It could be a letdown and then come back and do it again. But it's at the point now where there could be a letdown in my mind. I think that Daniel becoming a champion and doing as well as he's done since some of the setbacks that he had mentally, it goes into this fight with a lot more confidence in my mind as a coach, having a fighter like that at that level. I think that he goes in with a lot more confidence and knowing that he can beat him. Knowing that if he hits him with a good body shot, he can't.
This rematch isn't just another title fight, it feels like a huge moment in heavyweight boxing. Daniel Dubois is coming in with the biggest win of his career, and some signs show Usyk might be slowing down, and Eddie Hearn all sense something's changing. While some still trust Usyk's unbeaten run, others believe Dubois is more dangerous than ever. Whether it's better skills, new confidence, or just perfect timing, this fight looks much closer than the first one. Wembley could be the place where Dubois takes over, or where Usyk proves he's still the king. Now it's your turn. Who are you picking, Dubois or Usyk? And will it end in a knockout or a decision? Drop your thoughts below.